Hey Star Wars fans, Budget Jedi here with a video to talk about one of my favorite characters from the Expanded Star Wars Universe line called the Space Trooper. This video is for my YouTube friend Mad Woba, who has very kindly sent me this Space Trooper figure from the Saga Legends line, which at this point is actually pretty hard to find for some reason. So I really appreciate that, Mad Board, but thank you so much. The Space Trooper is, one of my favorite characters, and since he had originally told me that he doesn't know much about this figure, I figured I'd do a video on him. First and foremost, I wanted to let you guys know that the Space Trooper is not to be confused with the Legacy Space Trooper that came out in 2009. As you can see, he's got the jetpack there, and let's see if I can get it to focus. He's got not only a jetpack but also removable helmet. I think this is from the 2009 Legacy line. Also, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the Space Trooper is the same as the Dark Trooper. For those of you that don't know, this is another type of super trooper, I should say, that came out as part of a series called Dark Forces. And it was actually a game that came out in the 90s. Just giving you guys a look at the packaging here. That involved the main character, Kyle Katarn. And I'll give you guys a look at what Kyle Katarn looks like from the Expanded Universe. And that's him, Kyle Katarn with the famous Briar pistol. If you guys never played the game called Dark Forces or Dark Forces 2, I suggest you get it. It's an old PC game, but it's still fun to play, and it's got great storyline. So again, that's called the Dark Trooper, which is a completely different item than the Space Trooper. If you guys want to get this, this is actually also available this year, 2011, as part of the Saga Legends line. Okay, so back to the Space Trooper. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the figures that I have, as well as the actual Space Trooper features. This here, what you're looking at, is a mint carded original Space Trooper figure. This is the first Space Trooper figure that was ever made by Hasbro. I'm gonna take a look at the back here. This came out in 1998. Okay, and it's got that Kenner packaging. It's got a Power of the Force type packaging, and it's really special because it came with a small diorama. As you can see here, it says carefully open center section of card. It's got a removable piece of cardboard that you can flip out and pose your Space Trooper with. Really cool, really nice, and actually very rare. I wouldn't say very rare, but it's quite rare. You can hardly get a mint one. If you get lucky, or you know when to bid, you might get lucky as me. I'm gonna just go ahead and show off exactly how much I paid that for. 99 cents with $2.95 shipping and handling. So I paid $4 for this figure, but most of the time you'd have to buy this figure for about, I want to say anywhere from $15 to $30 to $40, because it's quite hard to find. Now, the Space Trooper was first seen in the Heir to the Empire novel, which was basically a series of 6 volumes of comic books done by, if I'm not mistaken, Timothy Zahn in 1995. And it's a pretty cool story. The story goes that after the end of Episode 6, which is The Return of the Jedi, Han and Leia, were married, and they were busy doing their duties for the New Republic. Luke Skywalker, I think, is set to become probably the leader of the new Jedi Council, and nobody's really watching what the Empire's doing. And a new leader by the name of Grand Admiral Thrawn here, which actually I'm going to show you his figure here. It's part of this series as well, and that's Admiral Thrawn. And these are some other figures that came in this line with the same similar packaging. Admiral Thrawn basically came up with these space troopers to help him with his space battles to take over the New Republic. And I'm going to also go ahead and put up a picture of its first scene. You can see it here. The first scene in the comic book where the space trooper was seen. In these comics, the space trooper was actually called 0G Assault Stormtrooper. So, for reference sake, let's call him the 0G Assault Stormtrooper. It came in a very bulk form, and it really was designed for stormtroopers to be able to fight or perform their task in space, and basically it was a very big and thick 0G armor that kind of went over the standard stormtrooper armor. As you can see, it has heavy firepower, and it's got a rocket with a tank in the back. And one interesting thing is in the official story, actually they have two gauntlets here. One of them fires pretty much a blaster cannon. It fires laser, and one of the gauntlet is actually a miniature proton torpedo launcher. So I'm not sure if I got that mixed up or what, but basically they have different functions. This figure is the Saga Legends one, which is the most updated one. And just so you guys can appreciate here, this figure that came out in 1998 had almost no articulation in the knees and the elbows, I want to say. I think it had pretty much only the hips and the shoulders, but it actually had a retractable arm gauntlet. As you can see there, you can open and close it. When this newer version it's permanently there. You can actually take off the gun here, but see, you can take off the gun, but you can't really close that part of the arm. So I'm not sure if you guys can see the difference here. I'm gonna just put them next side to side. The sculpt has definitely gotten a lot better, but when it comes to the arm gauntlets, I think it'd be more fun to have a retractable one. Here's another fun fact about the Space Trooper. One of the most popular characters in Star Wars Expanded Universe, named Rom Mok, was actually a Space Trooper, and later on he, I think, went up through the ranks of the Empire and actually started the Dark Trooper project, which is what this figure is. Also, I think in later stories in the Expanded Universe, the Empire found this version of the 0G Stormtrooper outfit to be very bulky and hard to manage, and what they did was they made it smaller, and that's how you ended up with the Legacy Stormtrooper, Space Trooper. So this is basically meant to be this figure, but a later iteration of that. So he still has a little bit of a rocket action here, and his helmet is supposed to be outfitted with obviously a vacuum-friendly oxygen breathing apparatus. So that's really a little bit of the backstory that I have on that, and ask me any questions if you want, or comment. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.